Are you ready? Are we ready? Is Texas ready? Will the world ever be ready? TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin.
All right, Jason Birch, hello.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Thanks for joining me on the first live stream. So, as usual, every time I've ever done live streams, it's never ending technical difficulties. The first one was my good camera that I like to stream from, of course, dies 2 minutes before it shows. So now I'm back to the webcam off the laptop, but I don't know. That's just the way things go. So
winning the battle.
Excited. Yeah. It's just never ending. I don't know. When I used to live stream before, it was always like right at the last minute. So I know a lot of you guys that are out there that have been watching my videos and stuff are kind of wondering, first of all, like Jason's got a bunch of videos. He's got a bunch of subscribers, but there's a bunch of fish being talked about. So let's kind of get that out there in the open so everyone kind of knows what in the world the fish thing is all about. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I decided to build a fish room. And I whenever I do stuff, I don't know how to do things small. I do things humongously. Yeah. So, of course, I went over and above and built this massive fish room. I had 100 and something fish tanks in my garage. But my sons kept telling me, Jason, you're just going to get bored of this like you do everything else, and you're going to sell everything. And so my son said, why don't you build a YouTube channel so that way you can feel part of a community? And so that's what I did. That's how this thing was birthed. And it was 100% what I needed. I felt a part of a community. And so I was able to get that thing going and allow the channel to grow. Then when I moved, I didn't set my fish room back up for multiple reasons. I just didn't have the time because I had a million things to do. We moved out to my family ranch. So I have about 1,000 acres to play on all the time. So I haven't had the time to do it. And also the electricity out here is really, really expensive. So that's kind of the backstory of why there's all these fish videos that are still on there. And so you may ask also, well, then why don't you delete them all? Well, they still generate income. And the other thing is I used to have a store where I sold fish online. I've since sold that to my breeder who lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So he continues to sell the fish. So I keep all those videos up so it keeps funneling people to him. So he still has a business that was actually worth buying. All right. So enough of talking about fish. Let's get back to TEXITcoin. Those of you guys that just joined us from Bobby's stream, that was a lot of questions. I think at one time I saw like 55 questions that were sitting there waiting for him. So people got a lot of questions. So feel free to ask questions here. So I want you guys to know, this is Rick Warden. This is one of my buddy of mine I've known since, I don't know, 30 years or something like that.
Been a while.
Rick is the one that's going to be doing all of the live stream stuff for me, getting it all set up. And the reason that I need him desperately is because my life is absolutely overwhelming now because of TEXITcoin. I'm trying to run a business and trying to deal with getting everyone onboarded. And because of my knowledge in crypto, I've now been known as the guy to call about crypto questions.
Yes,
so I get inundated every single day. And I love to help, but sometimes at work, it gets extremely overwhelming trying to get all the jobs out and trying to deal with all those too. So I need as many people as I can to take as many things off my plate so that I don't have a heart attack and die and no one gets to ever see me again. So Rick is going to have another channel going too. It's called the TEXITcoin TV. So I'm going to let him tell you guys a little bit about that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rick E. Warden, and just honored to be here with Jason Birch at this time where there's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for all of us. Jason had told me about TEXITcoin, and so had Troy Dorsey a little while back, but you know, we're all busy and it's an investment and don't have time for it. But when I saw that TEXITcoin was opening the Mansfield downtown historic office there in Mansfield, I saw that Jason was all in. And I was like, okay, I've got to, all in right now before I really knew that much about it. But I've spent, Jason, as you know, I've spent the last 3 weeks just cramming like a lawnmower, man. I have researched and researched. I know so much about TEXITcoin today, everything from the very simple aspects of what TEXITcoin is actually offering you For example, TEXITcoin is offering you a share in a mine. It's a crypto mine that mines coins, and that's what the share is. It's a share in the computer that mines the coins, and every day in the evening, the computers that have been mined that day are added to your wallet every day. It's important to know that you own those coins. You can sell those coins. You can trade those coins. You can hold those coins. You can reinvest, but they're yours and nobody else's. And so that's part of what makes it a sovereign coin. And I'll just stop right there. And here in just a little bit, we're going to open the comments for questions. So everybody get your questions ready. Jason, I believe that one of the coolest things of doing this live stream is the interactive part. One is that we're live on television right now, because everybody has YouTube on their Roku. And so we're live on TV in people's living rooms across the world right now. So that's powerful. Then you add the interactive aspect where people have a comfortable place to just come hang out with cool people and ask the questions that they have about TEXITcoin. So thank you very much for allowing me to assist you. Thank you very much for partnering with me. And I'm as excited as I can be to be on this TEXITcoin rocket ship. And I'll finish this little part up with what I plan to do is be here live on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook page as often as possible. Ideally, I'd like to do it every day because TEXITcoin is growing. A lot of people have questions, and I'd be honored. I mean, what a thrill it would be to be able to facilitate, one, the questions, and then all the people that, you know, are going to want to be part of TEXITcoin and have those coins dropping in their wallet every evening for 136 years. Is that right, Jason? Tell us about that 136 years part.
Yep, that's the plan. The mine will continue to produce and produce and produce way after you're gone, probably after your kids are gone. So you've got this residual income that will be created for an extremely long time. And it doesn't really matter that it ends. People ask me sometimes, well, why does it even end? Well, ending is actually good when it comes to a cryptocurrency, because all that means is that there are going to be no more coins produced. When there's no more coins produced, that means scarcity. So when people start talking about Bitcoin reaching levels of $1 million a coin, that's part of the reason is because when Bitcoin finally reaches its 21 million total coins produced, it will never produce another coin. Right now, Bitcoin produces about 450 coins a day. So that's a bunch of coins that goes into the market every single day. I don't know, 30, $40 million worth of coins that are coming in there and putting on a selling pressure on the coin. So when you remove all that selling pressure, then every coin you have is going to be worth tremendous amount more. So there's no reason to get caught up in how long this thing's actually gonna last. And I want to touch on something that you mentioned, the idea of digging into this thing and really learning it. And so one of the main questions I get asked a lot is people say, well, Jason, how do I get people in? What do I say to them? And it's a difficult question to ask because first of all, I feel like I have a couple of unfair advantages. One of them is because I know a lot about crypto, but I've also spent hours and hours and hours studying TEXITcoin to understand all the nuances of it, to be able to answer all the questions. And so that's given me the ability to know what I'm talking about. And so I would suggest that to everyone that's out there. That's the first thing that you need to do is understand what it is that you're talking about. Because first of all, when you mention crypto to people, you're going to throw most people off. They're going to be thinking, right, oh, I know someone that got ripped off or someone that got scammed. And so they're going to want to ask you questions. Yeah, it is. And it's the way it is. And that's something you're going to have to go up against. But the more knowledge that you have, the better you're going to be able to communicate with people. You're going to feel more secure talking to them. It's just going to be easier. So that's always my first suggestion is spend a bunch of time learning this thing inside and out. Watch all the videos you can. Watch my videos. Watch Texit Raiders videos.
Yeah,
on that
Texit
point,
Raider
hey,
has some excellent videos. Watch those
yeah,
videos.
if you could,
Texit Raider. What's his partner's name again? Eddie?
no, Eddie is the Eddie actually works for Bobby.
Okay,
If you could,
the Texit Raider guy in Colorado. What's his name?
yes, you're talking. You're talking about his friend, or
Yeah,
no,
his
Jonathan. You're
friend.
talking about Jonathan. Jonathan's
Jonathan.
friend's Mike.
The guy sitting at the table at the conventions in their videos. He explains the simplicity of TEXITcoin so well, and it helped me listening to him. I've listened to so many people, and listening to him after all the research I've done, it helped just really simplify it. So I would like to mention that right now, Jason. When we say do all the research, and I've researched for 3 weeks, and I still have a lot of learning to do, but it's not complicated. It's not complicated information that's like not understandable. It's all actually very simple. It's just a lot of nuts and bolts that go together.
Yep, for sure. If you could, in the Rick, if you don't mind, in the chat, if you could find his channel and post that in the comments so people can go subscribe to that. Also,
I sure will. Thank you.
Yeah, and post the TEXITcoin TV's link on there too, so people can go subscribe to that.
You got it. Thank you very much.
Joseph Miller. Sorry, I'm late. Oh, you're never late. Joseph Miller is one of my fish buddies who found out the crypto because he subscribed to my fish channel. I've had quite a few of those, and again, that's another unfair advantage that I have too, is because I have quite a few subscribers. Now, just because I have 20 whatever thousand subscribers, it doesn't really mean anything, because not whenever I put out a video, not 20,000 people are going to go watch it. Those numbers are they're true numbers, but for the most part, they're people that aren't probably even into fish anymore. And so, but I do have that unfair advantage that I'm able to reach a pretty good size crowd. So I've signed up quite a few people through just the YouTube channel, and that's part of the reason that I try to push it too, is to try to pick up more and more. In fact, I picked up someone from Canada today. That was the first someone outside of the US that I've actually ever got signed up. So that was pretty cool.
Hey, yeah, congratulations. Hey, we're going to get to the chats here in just a second. Congratulations on that sign up. I want to give a shout out on the same note to all of my people watching over at Outlaw Video TV. We're broadcasting live to Outlaw Video TV, which is my music and entertainment channel. And then we're also broadcasting live to Facebook. So anybody who wants to watch it on Facebook, it's only one location. It's TEXITcoin TV on Facebook. And if you comment there, we will see your comments here, bring it up. Check this out. Daddy Man 68's watching from New Zealand.
New Zealand. Yeah, we've got a pretty good growing group of guys that are in the New Zealand area for sure.
Yeah, the Vikings. It's the blood of the Vikings. They got the intelligence to take advantage of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yep. All right, so if you guys got any questions or any comments you want, just leave those down in the chat, and we'll try to answer those for you. Yeah, new price. So you might see my ticker down here. So that ticker is not tied to anything. I have to physically go into that thing every time I do a video and update it to whatever the newest price is. You can see it right there. So that thing is not ticking the correct price because I didn't have the time to get it set up today. And so, yeah, the price is growing and growing and growing. If you guys, you didn't see it. It actually it hit $1 the other day. Someone came through and bought up a whole bunch of sell orders and drove the price of it to $1. Now it quickly came back down to about 85 cents. And that's what happens, is because there's not a tremendous amount of liquidity that's there right now. So that means the price of the coin is going to it'll move. There's a pretty good floor that protects it at about 79 cents. So it's hard for it to drop below 79 cents. There's about a $30,000 floor, I think I remember, as far as buy orders go. So it can't drop below that unless someone puts up $31,000 in buy orders. So is it possible to be listed on Rocket Coin? Charles Reedmus asks. It's possible to be listed on every single one of the exchanges. Now, that's obviously our ultimate goal, is to get on as many exchanges as possible, especially the big boys, the Coinbases, the Krakens, the
Right.
Crypto.com, the Binance,
Crack-a-lackin'.
all the big ones. But there's no, it's not like you just go to them and say, hey, can you put me on there? That's not the way it works. You have to be noticed by them. They want to see big volumes that are happening. And we have really good volumes. If you do a AI search and ask it, what does it take to be on Coinbase?
Right.
Coinbase, I think, says you need about $25,000 a day in volume, and we easily double that when you calculate the two different exchanges that we're on. But
well, that's really very exciting.
Yeah, it's great because once we get on those big ones, that's when this thing is really going to take off, and that's really when the market is going to get involved. When you open it up to literally tens and hundreds of millions of people that have accounts that are currently on Coinbase and some of the other ones. So yes,
right,
we want to.
Can I interject real quick and let's put some fire here, and some urgency, because I have been hitting the social media, all over the world. I'm chat GPTing all day, you name it, doing deep researches. And, people around the world are discovering this coin. It is around the country. This fella here is in New Zealand. But, there are social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube channels, people coming out of the woodworks. It's like the old AC/DC song, Let There Be Light, which is there's 50 million fingers learning how to play. It's that scenario that when you get a new car, you all of a sudden notice everyone else has that car also. And so it is my belief, but I'm more asking you, is it or is it not truthful that right now the markets of the world are looking at TEXITcoin? And my personal little opinion is that a lot of those people that are coin wise investors are probably going, what? I can only buy 9 shares?
Yeah, it's not seen as much as you might think. And the reason is because the crypto market is so watered down. I mean, there are literally millions of cryptocurrencies that are out there, the majority of them being meme coins, but there's tens of thousands being created every single day on top of that. So it's very, very difficult to get seen. What typically gets you seen is when you have big growth numbers, because when you get big growth numbers, then those percentages start showing up on these top 5, top 10 lists. Now, typically those are ones that are going to be on like Coinbase or some of the other big ones. So if you're not listed on there, you're not going to show up on there. But CoinMarketCap, I think, has some of those that are on there. But even those are hard to get onto because you get back to meme coins again. Meme coins will pop 1,000% sometimes because of that's how these meme coins are. So let's just kind of start over and talk about meme coins. So a meme coin is created completely out of thin air. So anybody can get online right now and they can go and they can start their own meme coin. They can call it whatever they want. And typically when someone starts a meme coin, they're going to give it the name of something that is highly searched at that time. They're going to go into some type of Google Analytics or X Analytics, and they're going to look on there and they're going to see what is being searched for a lot. And if it's something like Trump's tax cuts, then they'll name it some stupid coin. Trump's tax cut is literally what they'll name the coin, because they think that's going to get it seen more. So they'll create that coin, and again, it's created out of thin air. So they can call this. They can say this coin has as many as they want. They can say there's 1 billion of this coin if they want, because they're the ones creating it. So let's say they start a coin and they say there's 1 million of this coin. Okay. So we got 1 million coins. All of a sudden they type it all in, they get it out. They've got 1 million coins. Those 1 million coins are sitting in their wallet to do with as they please. But guess what? Those coins have zero value whatsoever because there's no demand. Nobody wants it. So it's sitting at zero. So they have to get out there and publicize that coin. So that's when they start getting on social media. That's when they start paying influencers to start talking about it, so to get people interested. And so all of a sudden people get on there and start getting interested, and they start buying the coin. And they start buying the coin. So the coin will start growing. Well, if it's sitting at 0 cents and that thing pops to $1, then that's an astronomical jump. And so they're going to be one of the coins that are seen as, oh, look, in the last 24 hours, this coin has exploded. Well, that's going to help them be seen even more. Then FOMO takes over. Fear of missing out. If you haven't been in crypto very long, you better get used to that term, because that is a popular term in crypto. Fear of missing out. Those people they're afraid they're going to miss out on that money. So they jump in there and they start buying some of that coin. So the next thing you know, this coin that he's put 1 million of these out, it's up to $1. Well, guess what? Out of those 1 million coins, he only put 500,000 of them up for sale. He didn't put all 1 million. The other 500,000 coins are sitting in his wallet. So when that thing hits $1, guess what? He takes those 500,000 coins that are in his wallet and he sells them all. He goes off, disappears out into the sunset, makes all this money, crashes the entire value of the coin, and everybody else's, the coin now is worth zero. So now there's not even anybody to sell it to. So now these people, they've lost everything that they put into the coin. And this literally happens every single day. Every single day. There's even a website that's designed to push this stuff. It's called Pump Fund. I think it's what it's called. And that it's all it's designed to do is to push these meme coins, to give you this place to actually push these meme coins. It's kind of funny because there was this, I think it was an 11 or a 13-year-old kid who created his own coin. He put it out there and he got on that Pump Fund and started pushing it and got some traction. And it kind of took off a little bit on him. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. And he actually ended up selling it. And he made about $33,000. And right after he sells it and makes $33,000, he shoots the bird to everybody on the screen with both hands. Both hands. He gave the bird to everyone.
Family friendly. Family friendly.
Yeah. And then he turned it off and disappeared, and it was happy he made his $33,000. Well, the funny thing about it is there was quite a few other people that had money in it, and they decided we're going to show this kid. So they kept the coin going, and so they drove the price of the coin up about 10 times what the kid had sold it at. So the kid would have made about $300,000 if it held on longer. Now, of course, the bottom fell out of it, like every single other meme coin that's out there. People that were in it sold a whole bunch of it, crashed the whole market. The coin came tumbling down. So that's what meme coins are. And that has zero to do with what TEXITcoin is. TEXITcoin, again, is a layer one. So a layer one takes all this money to get this thing off the ground. The founder, Bobby, he has no outside investors. He has no VCs that have come in. He's taken all of his own things to raise the money that it takes to actually get this thing off the ground. I hazard to guess he has $300,000 or more dollars to buy all of the ant miners. That's the mining equipment that's actually used, the computers, and then the electricity that it takes to set up. You've got to have 3-phase electricity with 480 volts coming in. So you have to have this industrial type setup with all these massive electricity boxes. So you've got all this money that takes to get this thing set up. So when you get a layer one set up, there's no rug pull. There's nothing to gain because you've got so much money invested. A layer one is designed to be something that's going to go on forever. Nobody creates a layer one to rug pull. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, and Bobby Gray is a true revolutionary of our time. All hail our fearless leader.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've been in crypto for a long time, and I've never seen really anything like this. I've been involved in a lot of different meme coins. At one point, I made a bunch of money, and then I lost a bunch of that money because I was one of them that held too long. I was one of them that got stuck with the bag. And so when I was first approached about TEXITcoin, the buddy of mine, Jay, who's the one that told me about it.
Jay Horton?
Yeah, Jay Horton. And so so I own a printing company. So he sent me some TEXITcoin business cards to be printed. And so he texted me a little bit later and he said, what did he say? No, not are you interested?
Are you curious?
Something about, are you curious? Yeah. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm dying. But once he finally called me back, I'd already gone online and done all the research and I understood about 15% of what it was. And I knew it was something that I needed to be into. So when he called me on the phone and began to explain it, I had already had the whole entire form signed up, filled out. All I needed to know is what was his affiliate ID so I could put it in there so that he could actually get credit. And so I began to ask him a bunch of technical questions, which he had no idea how to answer because crypto was all brand new to him. He just goes, Jason, I'm making $3,000 a week. And I'm like, okay, that's probably all I really need to hear.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is he asked me, he said, Jason, do you want to tell people about this? And I went, oh, Lord, no, I don't want to tell anybody about this. And he's like, well, why would you not want to tell anybody about it? Well, first of all, because I didn't fully understand what I was in. Right. And my thought process was I'd already lost so much money in crypto that I didn't want to bring people in and watch that happen to them and feel like I was the one that was responsible for bringing them in.
Even though you're not.
I kind of thought, yeah, but that's kind of what was my thought process. So I thought that might be what might happen because, again, I didn't really understand what this was. So I messed up because I spent a month not telling anybody about it. So in the first 30 days, if you get 3 individual people in, you're going to get 2 free mining shares. If you wait till after that 30 days, you're only going to get 1. Well, I wasted that first month, which is killing me because I have like 45 or something referrals now. And on each one of the 3, I've only gotten 1 mining share out of it instead of the 2 because of that. But once I did that research, like we talked about before, and I really understood what it was, that's when I called them back and I went, okay, I'm ready to go full force in this thing and tell everybody I know about it. Because I realized, man, this thing is the absolute real deal, that this thing is absolutely going places beyond a shadow of a doubt. And so ever since that day, I've just been going 90 miles an hour. In fact, I told my wife, as I began to kind of explain to her some of the numbers, some of the possibilities of what this can actually be. Like for instance, let's talk about the $16. You know, that was the original. The target goal was $16 by February of next year. And so at the time when you bought a coin, you were pretty much guaranteed to probably get 3,000 coins in that year's time. And so I told her, look, we spend $1,000. In a year, we'll have 3,000 coins. If it's at $16, that's $48,000 that we've made off of $1,000. And she was like, yes, please, let's do this. And for every other mining share that you have, it's going to double that and then double that again. So now you want to buy and you want to earn it as many as you can. So she was completely on board. So I told her, I said, okay, well, here is the negative side of it. I said, this thing is going to consume me for a year. Yeah, I said, so we're literally, we're going to have to put our life on hold. Now, don't get me wrong. We still go out on date nights. In fact, we just had a date night right before I got on here. Good, so we still try to do 1 or 2 date nights.
Love you, Jennifer.
So that we can actually,
Jason has the most beautiful, lovely wife. They've been married forever. Like, he's the best family man. You won't find a better family man. So shout out to Jennifer and all her support.
Yeah, we've been married for 32 years, so she's had to put up with me being a doofus for a long, long time. So so that we're still having those date nights, and we're still able to spend a little bit of time together. But for the most part, I'm on the phone almost all the time. And no, I'm not scrolling Facebook. I'm talking to people. I'm answering questions. I'm helping people get signed up. I'm helping to onboard them. And part of the reason that I do that is because the office is absolutely overwhelmed. We're having so many people sign up. So I figure it's my responsibility because I'm a Texit Ranger. So I figure it's part of my responsibility is to try to ease as much of that off of them as that I can. So I try to do the entire onboarding process myself. So the office just simply has to enter the people in, put their coin ID into the system, and then mail that coin out. And then they never have to actually contact anybody that I get signed up. And I try to be the go-between that answers all the questions that they may have, along the way.
Well, Jason, you just said a whole lot. So everybody listening, if you have any questions about any of that in there, like I was tempted to jump in several times to expound upon things, but hey, again, it's a lot of nuts and bolts, folks. That's what it is. And we're here to put those nuts and bolts together for you. And together we're building a rocket ship. It's actually already built. We're just engineering it. We're mining these coins and engineering that rocket ship to the moon for ourselves, for you, and for our children, my grandson. So it's wonderful to have you here and to be going 90 miles an hour together with you. Let's go to the chats. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. Up here, we've got Badass One. This is my friend in Oklahoma City. I've known him all my life. Not Oklahoma, he's in Ardmore. And he says, definitely need to check this out.
Yep. Be sure and check it out. You're going to put a link down there to the website so they can see, learn a little bit more about it. The best way to actually learn more about what this is just watch some of my other videos. I've done a bunch of detailed videos explaining the entire thing. That seems to be the best way to kind of learn it and to understand it. Sometimes reading it on the website, kind of gets boring. So I try my best to be at least somewhat entertaining when I do my videos, so that you're not bored out of your skull, because it takes at least 30 minutes to explain this.
Right.
In fact,
well, to explain one portion of it, really.
Yes. Yeah. So Jay and I have done.
You're right. You do have excellent videos. So everyone, that is what I recommend. I recommend you going to. It's called Jadren, Jadren, and watch those YouTube videos there. They're very educational. And also, like I mentioned earlier, and we put it in the chats, the Texit Raider. These guys are up in Colorado. They're really good at making it simple also. So here's my question, Badass One, and every one of you, what questions do you have? Because we're here to answer your questions right now, tonight, and help you understand what's going on and feel comfortable with hopping on board and joining up with TEXITcoin. So Bonnie says, there is a reason why you can only buy 9 shares, but you can earn an unlimited amount of shares, which again, there were so many things that, we could have interjected, but let's go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah. Let me talk about Bonnie. So Bonnie is absolutely awesome. So a lot of the presentations that I've been doing at like Spring Creeks and the other restaurants, I've done close to 50 of them with Jay and I together. Bonnie is actually in Jay's downline, but she's not in my downline. Well, we've met up at some of these get-togethers, and she's been spending a tremendous amount of time learning how to do it. And she's also been growing her team like crazy. And awesome. So she finally decided that she wanted to do some of the presentation herself. So her and I did one at Buffalo Wild Wings a few weeks back. And it's kind of funny because it was one of the most difficult situations that you would ever have to do your first presentation.
Yeah.
Because first of all, when we got it, they told us, hey, we're going to have a room for you. Well, guess what? They didn't have a room for us.
Oh, no.
They had us a corner upstairs. So if you've ever been in Buffalo Wild Wings before, all the noise, all the TVs going, you can't even hear yourself think. So we had to squeeze over in a corner, get all the new people into that corner. And that is that's when Bonnie had to do her first full-on presentation. And she was an absolute pro. She didn't let any of that stuff bother her. She absolutely knocked it out of the park, and obviously gave her the courage to do it more. So her and I are going to be doing at least 2 or 3 a week, every week, until this thing completely sells out. This Thursday we'll be in Mansfield at the Spring Creek there, 6 o'clock. And then on Sunday we will be in Sunday we'll be in Buffalo Wild Wings again. That's Buffalo Wild Wings in Hewlin, but this time we actually have a room because the room wasn't ready. That's why.
Sunday at what time?
Sunday, it's at 6 o'clock also. It starts at 6, and then the presentation actually starts about 7 o'clock.
So this is a great time to just interject, let everyone know this is just one of many reasons why what you can find here, not only with Jadren TV, but with TEXITcoin TV is, talking about these events, making the announcements so you know where they're at. And then also my plan, it might take a minute to get there, but I plan to take my laptop and camera and record the events here and like the meeting at the Mansfield TEXITcoin office. So with that, Thank you, Bonnie, for being here tonight. Thank you for all you've done. I saw your presentation. You're just a sweet and, you know, really you do an excellent job. Very easy to follow and understand. So here's my invitation with Jason's blessing to you, Bonnie, and to really anyone listening, the TEXITcoin Raiders. I'm going to be in touch with all of you guys, sliding into your DMs and inviting you to TEXITcoin TV. I have the ability to do it every day of the week, and that's my goal. I'd like to do it 5 days a week. Jason can only do it 1 day a week, and then we're going to be doing other stuff with Jason also. But you know, there's plenty of room for everybody who wants a voice and a place to just invite your friends and answer the questions and take care of everybody right here. TEXITcoin TV, that's what it's all about. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Bonnie.
So let's kind of talk about the reason that we do this. Like, you know, Jason, why did you convert your entire channel over to this? Well, let's kind of explain. So last month alone, we had $145,000 that was spent on advertising.
Right.
That's billboards that are showing up all over Dallas-Fort Worth. I think there's some in Houston, San Antonio, Austin.
You've seen the pictures online.
Yeah, you've seen everyone showing you the growth from the billboards, and so they're showing ads all throughout the Austin International Airport. I mean, it's on like every screen that's in there is showing TEXITcoin all day, every day for that entire month. I think we're on there for like 3 months. Awesome. And so the reason I say that is $145,000. It sounds like a lot of money, and it is, but it's merely the drop in the bucket. So what that's doing is that's creating a lot of people that want to know, what is this TEXITcoin? Or what I'm noticing more than anything is a lot of the people that I talked to about this that ghosted me or wasn't interested at all, a lot of those people are now coming back and they're going, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about this again? And part of the reason is because they're seeing the billboards. And so that idea of scam now has been kind of thrown out the window, because like a scam doesn't spend $145,000 in a month to try to push something, because the $145,000 would be their profit to run off with. You know, they're not going to spend it on that. So if you think about the advertising budget, once we sell out all million mining shares or all million seats on the rocket, for ad budget, we will have upwards of 300 million. Let me say that again, $300 million to spend on advertising alone. That's just the ad budget. So Super Bowl ad, a Super Bowl ad's nothing at $300 million. Crazy. Even talking to Bobby about it, Bobby has already come up with the Super Bowl ad in his head of what he wants it to look like.
Yeah.
You want to sponsor a NASCAR team? Let's sponsor a NASCAR team. You want to sponsor an F1 team? Let's sponsor an F1 team. We literally have the money we'll be able to have the money to do anything that we want to. Everybody on the planet will know what TEXITcoin is, because you will be absolutely inundated with it. It'll be like you see Coke ads everywhere. That's how much you'll see about it. So a lot of people that you talk to that maybe don't want anything to do with it, or just like, oh, you're getting scammed, you're getting ripped off, just lay off of them, because they're going to remember that you're the one that talked to them about it. And then when they start seeing those ads and stuff, and they start realizing, man, this thing's real, or the radio ads. There's radio ads that are playing all in Austin. You know, eventually we're going to have radio ads that are going to be going all over the United States. So the amount of exposure that we're going to get at TEXITcoin is, people don't really factor that in. And so I want to capture some of that.
Yeah.
And to me, the greatest ability to capture that is where? Social media. Because that's where people are going to go. That's where people are going to go and search. And
thank you, everyone, for being here right now.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Everyone is going to be searching. And one of the main things that's going to be searched right now is TEXITcoin a scam?
Right.
Because that's going to be the first thing that's on people's mind. So if you look, I actually have a video, and guess what it's titled? Is TEXITcoin a scam? because I want to absorb all of those people that are asking that question. And so I can give them a true answer to it so they understand that it's not a scam. And it's funny because you know how people are when they're behind their keyboards, they're the keyboard warriors and they think they can say anything they want because they're protected because nobody knows who they are. And so when I'll put out a new video, there's always multiple people that, within seconds of the video posting, they post, oh, this is a scam. Oh, this is a rug pull. And you know what? They expect me to go in there and delete those comments. Well, guess what? I'm not going to delete those comments because I'm going to comment back to the comments. And the main thing that I comment back to them is what you're saying is completely out of ignorance. And I don't even mean that to be rude. I'm being truthful. Your ignorance is because you have done zero research to understand what this even is. If you did 5 minutes of research to what this is, you would realize this being a layer 1, the amount of money that's invested to get this thing off the ground, this thing is not a scam. This thing is not a rug pull. This thing is not a pyramid scheme. It's none of those things. This thing is the absolute real deal. Right now, there's over 4,000 of us currently, 4,000 miners currently that are a part of this. And guess how many people have asked for a refund? One is the only one that I know. And the reason that one person asked for a refund is because someone explained the plan to them incorrectly. So they were given false information about what it was. And I get that. I would be upset too if someone told me something, and then when I get in there, I find it was wrong. So out of the 4,000 people, we have one person that wanted to back out of this thing. So,
well, Jason, it's kind of like Salesman 101 is that you're just not going to sell everyone. And so sales is always, and I'm not saying this is sales, I'm just talking, in general, overall, no matter what you're selling. Sales is something that you always, treat 2 ways. One, as something that you expect. You're there, you're having the conversation, so you expect the sell. But also at the same time, a rejection you shouldn't ever take as offensive. It just means they don't have enough information. They're at a different place in their life. There's a million different reasons for people to say no. And so I'm just supporting what you said earlier and backing it up. It's always good to be nice to everyone, always, no matter what. So it's not any different in sales. Like you said, if you get pissed off at someone, they're never coming back to you. But if you continue to be nice to them, something might change in their life and they might come back to you.
Correct. Yeah. And never prejudge someone. That was a mistake that I made at first. People that were in my life, close friends and stuff, who I knew were fantastic salespeople, that I thought they would take this and they would go crazy with it. Yeah. And they did nothing with it whatsoever. I almost had to force them, one of them, to actually buy the coin. Yeah. But you can't prejudge people, because there'll be people that you think are going to be phenomenal at it that are going to be terrible at it. And there's going to be people you think would be awful at it that are going to be extreme go-getters. There's one person that's in my downline that I thought, probably wouldn't do much with this at all. And they have gone, crazy. I mean, they are talking to everybody they know. When they're out, they're talking to waiters. When they're in the grocery store, they're talking to the grocery store clerk. Sure. They're talking to every single person they can about it. And because they've had some success and they've seen some of these $1,000 bonuses come in. And when you have that money and all of a sudden it's real, this thing takes on a whole new life of its own. This thing becomes real and begins to change your life. I mean, no doubt about it. This thing has been completely life-changing for me already. With the money that I've just made on helping other people get in has been life-changing. That doesn't even include the stack of coins that I'm sitting on right now because of how hard that I've been working this thing.
Hey, let's talk about that real quick, and then let's get to the chats, because thankfully we have people here and they have questions. So let's get to the chats right after this question. How many coins right now today on average are being deposited per share every evening?
Okay, so the total amount of coins that comes off the mine is somewhere around 95,000. That goes up and down depending on how quick blocks are being completed. A typical block completes in 3 minutes, but that doesn't always happen that way. So you got 95,000 coins that are being put into a pool, and at 7 o'clock, those coins are distributed out to all the wallets. Everybody that has a one single share is going to get the same amount of coins as every other person that has a one share. The only way to get more coins is to have more mining shares. So if you have 2 mining shares, you're going to get double amount that the person that got 1. So it's all completely fair. As of today, I think the last time I looked, you're typically getting somewhere between 7 and 8 coins per share.
Okay,
and so
let's do that math, Jason. I brought that up for a reason. Let's do that math.
Okay.
Let's just say 7, be conservative. That coin is worth 80 cents right now, 85 cents as we speak.
Yeah.
So that's $5.60.
Yeah.
Is that basically on average, trying to be conservative with my numbers so we can be quick? So $5 a day, if you have a share right now, $5 every day is going into your TEXITcoin wallet. And it's not just today, it's tomorrow and the next day, and it's every day, 365 for the rest of your life, unless, you know, some kind of catastrophe takes place.
Yep. And as people talk about people are getting, you know, upset of the fact of, oh, you know, as more and more people get in, I'm getting less and less coins. But let me kind of put that into perspective so you understand it a little bit better. So we talk about it making about $5 a day. Well, guess what? Back in December, when you were getting 30 something coins a day, it was making about $4 or $5 a day then.
Right.
So the amount of coins that are being produced, as that number goes down, that means more people are coming on board. Well, guess what? When more people come on board, guess what a percentage of those people do? They go buy the coin itself.
Yeah.
Because when you buy a mining share, you have 0 coins. So people want some of their own coins right then.
Right, sure.
So they go and they get on DexTrade and they buy some of their own coins. Well, guess what happens when a bunch of people come in and buy? The price has no choice but to go up in value. So that's why you'll see some of these big price climbs that we see, is because more people get on, the value goes up. So
and that's going to happen. That's going to happen at an increased rate as the days goes on, because again, you can only buy 9 shares. That's it. So that protects the coin from being taken over by banks or anyone that could buy the coin out. So you can only buy 9 shares. You can earn more shares, and we've talked about that. But so now all that's left is the coin itself. Well, there's only so many coins. So even when people go buy them, it does 2 things. It makes the coin more valuable and more scarce at the same time, which is the crazy thing that is digital currency.
Yep, for sure. We got
So
some
if anybody got lost in that, just, you know, ask in the comments. But we're going to go to the comments. I really want to make sure that we say hi to everyone, at least real quick. Hello, Neil, Bonnie again. Get right past that. How about Papa Shrimp?
Yep, Papa Shrimp. Jerry, another good friend of mine. We've done a lot of fish stuff together. He actually used to work for me when I was doing the fish store. When we were actually selling, when we were selling fish out of, my print shop, I actually built a small fish room onto the print shop so we could ship fish out of there. So he worked for me for quite a few years doing that too. So him and I go back a ways when it comes to fish. So I'm excited to have him on board.
Yeah, thank you for being here tonight, Papa Shrimp. Please stop by more often. And is he a TEXITcoin? Is he signed up?
Yep. He is a TEXITcoin holder also.
Excellent. Well, again, all TEXITcoin, we're all equal in this, and so is TEXITcoin TV. Again, I could only fit so many people on, but I am going to do a show 5 days a week. So anybody interested, just my email, like Jason, your link for Jadren YouTube is in the video description. It's also in the chats. The video for let's see, what was it? The video that we talked about is in the chats too. We'll get to it in a minute.
Yep.
But anyway, okay, moving right along. We got Joseph Miller. Have we said hi to Joseph yet?
He's pretty active. I had him early. He's another fish guy. I did see Bonnie made the comment about the Texit gear, And so those guys that know me from the fish world, that's one of the things I always had, monogram type shirts, embroidery type shirts. And so that's kind of what I brought along to this, because we've got a lot of TEXITcoin gear that's out there that's being made by people, but it's all t-shirts. Right. And to me, kind of the way that it is now, I think we're growing past that, and we need to step it up and have a little bit more of a professionalness to it. So that's why I've gone out and spent the money to have some nice shirts made and some nice hats made. And
thank you, Jason. It's nice to be in your downline.
And that's one of the things that I do too, is I bought a whole bunch of these hats because you have to have them when you have an embroidered. And so guys that want them that are in my downline, I just give them to them for free, because you wear a hat all day long, people see it all the time. And it's inevitable that someone is going to have seen the billboard or something somewhere, and they're going to see that on your hat when you're in a restaurant or something. They're going to go, "Can you explain to me what this is?" Yeah. Because there is going to come a time, I guarantee you, you will not be able to keep up with the amount of people that want you to help them sign up.
I am ready.
Again, we're talking about the amount of money that's being spent. People are going to be tripping over themselves. The other day, someone that I'd told about it before, who didn't sign up back in December, they were like, "Oh man, I watched your videos, and I can't believe it's already up to 50 cents. Like, I remember back when you were talking about it, it was like 9 cents." And I started laughing. I go, "Oh, 50 cents? No, it's 85 cents now." Oh my gosh.
Well, that's just been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's just been a few weeks to see that kind of growth, and we're seeing that every few weeks or every month or so. We're having this big growth into 20-30% growth, and that's going to continue on, and that's going to continue on all the way up to February. Part of the money that's actually that you, when you pay your $9.95 to join, a percentage of that money actually goes towards liquidity for the coin. And that liquidity is to help hold the coin at certain prices. And so there is a plan that is out there with the money set aside to get the coin to actual $16. These aren't just numbers that we're just throwing out. This is a plan that is in motion.
Thank you, Bobby.
That is going to get us to $16 by February. Now, the $16 is just a baseline. Once this thing catches on with the big boys that are out there, $16 will be a flash in the pan. This thing will blow up. We'll be a top 100 coin in no time. And once we reach that top 100 coin, it is going to fly to a top 10 coin.
And that's pretty much it there, isn't it? I mean, that's why I wake up thinking TEXITcoin and go to sleep thinking TEXITcoin right now, is because it's all about mining as much as I can until I get to that point right there when they go on the major exchange and blow up.
Yep. That's for
all
sure.
Right. You want to say cheers to your buddy here, the Sunfish for Fish?
Sunfish for Fish. Hey, what is going on? Ruben is gone. Just talked to him Sunday. Yes. For those of you that have been on with Texit, if you've dealt with Ruben in the office before, Ruben is no longer in the office. And I'm none too upset. We'll just leave that at that.
Okay. Thank you for pushing me too, says Bonnie. You know what, Bonnie? We're all in this together. It's taken me a bit to start building my downline, but now that I'm going, I'm super excited. What's the typical amount of time a newbie should expect to start being comfortable talking to people about it?
That question is all about learning, because it's a comfortability. That's a hard word. Comfortability. Yeah. And so knowing what you're talking about, because if you're not comfortable with what you're talking about, you're not going to really want to talk to someone about it. So that time frame can be a week or it can be 3 months. It just depends on how much time you want to invest in really understanding what it is. There is so much information out there for you to learn from. You have all of the YouTube videos that are made. If you look at Texit Raider, he has 180 something videos that you can watch. I've got a bunch of videos you can watch. If you get, when you're signed up as a miner, it gives you access to the resource tab. The resource tab has a ton of videos to watch, but the best ones that you can watch are the Tuesday night Zoom calls. So Bobby, the founder, does a Zoom call every single Tuesday. It starts at 6 to 7 or it starts from 6 o'clock and goes to
Central
7.
Standard Time. We're in Texas.
Yeah, Central. Yep, 6 to 7 Central Time, and every single one of those are recorded and they're put into that resource tab. So there are hundreds of videos you can go in there and watch. If you keep watching those things and digesting those things, you will finally understand this thing enough. And I think a lot of people get kind of worried too, because they're like, well, Jason, I just don't fully understand what crypto is. Well, you don't need to fully understand what crypto is. And let me explain to you why.
Because not a whole lot of people fully understand crypto. It's part of the madness. You have to accept that about crypto. And when you look at it, you're going to hear that over and over and over.
Yep. The vast majority of people that you're going to run into to talk about this don't know hardly anything about crypto anyway. I hazard to guess 75% of the people that I've seen join know zero about crypto. So you're not going to have a lot of crypto questions to actually have to answer. When you do run into that person that has those crypto questions that you can't answer, then that's when you can hook them up with me so that I can answer those questions for them. Because
or they can go to your YouTube channel, and your YouTube videos are titled, and you might just watch one of your YouTube videos. And, you know, another thing, hate to cut all of us out of this, but you can go to ChatGPT. It takes a little time, again, with that, like everything else, to understand how ChatGPT works. But you can get ChatGPT to explain it to you also, you know. So you have multiple options. And another option is just right here. I mean, Papa, thank you for being here. If you don't mind, Jason, real quick, I'll kind of talk about the simplicity. There's really just three simple things. It's a share and it's a coin, right? There's two. And the other is the telling people about it aspect and signing other people up. So that's the three aspects of TEXITcoin. So when we say there's all this to learn and do all the research, please don't hear that it's complicated, because it's not. I love to be able to simplify things for people, because I do believe that all of life is simple. All it takes is time and, you know, willingness. You know, you have to have a passion and a desire about life in general, but in this case, about understanding the share, the coin, and then sharing with your friends and how you can get more coins. From there, a whole nother subject is crypto coin. And I can break that down for you too, to the extent that I know it. I know it pretty good. And Jason knows it even better. So thank you for being here. And this is an excellent source for you to ask those questions so that we can answer them right here also.
Yep, for sure. I really appreciate everybody showing up.
Big
Granbury.
time.
Yeah,
Thank
we come
you,
to Granbury.
Jason.
Yes. We are actually going to be in Granbury on the 23rd at the Spring Creek. Again, it'll be at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
6 o'clock. And so that you know, when we do those things, it's the food is free. TEXITcoin pays for all the food. So when you come in, again, 6 o'clock at the Granbury and Spring Creek on the 23rd, that is a Friday. If you come in there, they'll give you a ticket when you come in, so you can literally order anything you want. Only thing you can order is alcohol, but you can order the most expensive ribs if that's what you want to do.
And
you're
dessert.
more than welcome to that. Yeah,
and dessert. Just no alcohol.
We want you guys to be there. And like I told you before, you know, we're blessed to have a ridiculous advertising budget, so we can do stuff like that all the time and continue to bring people in. Like I told you, the plan is to probably do about 3 of these almost every single week, where I'm going to different Spring Creeks. And I know people are like, oh, I'm so tired. Some people are like, I'm so tired of barbecue. Well, I'm tired of barbecue too, but the reason that we do them at
You're not tired of signing people up, are you?
No, I'm not tired of signing people up. And many times I'll eat somewhere else before I show up.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of barbecue. I'm going to get some
to
go.
You're hustling, man. You're hustling, and we're glad you're hustling, man. So take care of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So,
hey, I have a question.
It's super easy.
I have a question, Jason, very important. Is there a schedule anywhere? And again, that's one of the things I would like to do here is kind of take some of the loose ends and put them in one spot, tie it all up for everybody to make it simple and accessible. One of the things we'd like to do is have a website. There's not a website for TEXITcoin TV, but I'd like to have a website with a schedule on it. And I know a lot of these events are pop-up, like the week of, you know. Well, that to me is all the more reason to try to maintain a schedule so people can check that. And not just for us here out of Mansfield, but you just mentioned Granbury because you've got a Sunfish for Fish over there. So that's everybody listening, if especially in their Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's what I'm talking, you know, in those areas. You know, I'm pretty sure that I could maintain that schedule. And Mike could even set up a website sometime in the future where people could just update the calendar themselves.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the things that we just found out as being a Texit Ranger is that we've been given our own assistant now. Yeah, Jonathan's a Texit Ranger also. We've been given our own assistant, and so I've taken full advantage of this assistant. It's still brand new. So I've got an assistant that is scheduling all my Spring Creek shows that we're doing.
Okay.
They are creating the Eventbrite pages. They are updating my calendar, and then they're making the post in Telegram because we need to be getting these things scheduled at least a month in advance instead of all this last minute stuff. It just
okay. So you hear that, all you folks out there right now sitting on the fence, going, you know, I don't know, you know, maybe I should look at this. No, it's not a maybe. You should definitely look at it. I'm telling you, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm convinced. I could be wrong. I mean, I believe it would take a major catastrophe to change the course of TEXITcoin. That's my personal belief. Jason is convinced, you know, so you hear what we're talking about. We are putting together a social media network right now, or tying up a lot of loose ends, because, you know, I converted 4 of my Facebook pages that all had 300 people on them and things to TEXITcoin. And so anyway, that's it. We would like to network with everyone in Dallas, Fort Worth, and the surrounding city areas and get all of those dinners on a schedule in one place, and also have those people. Again, I would like to do this 5 days a week. I'm in a position where I can. And so, you know, I'm reaching out to everyone and inviting you on to whatever capacity you're available and would like to participate. Just send me an email again at TEXITcointV@gmail.com.
Cool.
All right, so we got Daddy Man over in New Zealand saying, not a question, but more a shout out to TEXITcoin and the team. My ROI was less than 2 months. The rest has been profit. So it took him 2 months to get going, is what he's saying. And good profit at that. I joined in January, and people here can't get enough of it.
Yeah, people's return on investment are coming very, very quickly, more quickly than they would expect. That's the funny thing when you're in TEXITcoin, you're like, sometimes some things seem too good to be true, and then they happen, and then it seems like every time you find out something new, it's even better than what you thought. Like each time, I'm like one time I got like a free mining share or something, and I didn't even understand where it came from. Right. And they're like, oh, if you do this, this, and this, you get this. I'm like, oh, I had no idea. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I got like a free point one time, and I'm like, I don't even know where this point came from. And it's like, oh, it's because someone down below you, they took the free mining shares instead of the money, so it passes points up. So literally, you just keep learning all these new things, and everything just gets better and better instead of worse and worse. And that's the majority of the people that come in there. They're apprehensive of it at first, and then they quickly see this thing grow, and they see that return on investment come extremely, extremely quickly. Now, if you factor it out, it looks like about $5 a day. So that's about $150 a month. So if you figure that all the way out, that's probably about 6 or 7 months on average to actually get your money back. But if you're actually getting people in, then you can make more. But understand this, for those guys that don't know, you do not have to get other people in. That's something totally separate. The only thing you ever have to do is buy you just have to buy a mining share. That's all you have to do. Once you buy a mining share, you never have to do anything. Again, there's a lot of these MLMs that are out there, and we get compared to the being a multi-level marketing, which we're not, because they require you to buy something every single month.
Right.
You know, so if you were an Amway, you got stuck with 7,000 bottles of shampoo in your garage because you had to buy that crap every single month. Well, not here.
And then your painter has to move them out of the way to paint.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to do that part of it. 60% of the people that get in this never tell anybody else about it. They just buy their mining share and they sit back and they just earn the money or the coins every single day, and they do
because, like you just said, right now at this rate, in about 6 months, it's gonna pay off. So it's a long-term investment, but right now it's a 6-month investment, and then from there you've made back your initial investment, and you got coins in your bank every day. And you can spend those coins because you own them. You do what you want. And you know what's going to happen the next day?
You get more
coins in your wallet.
Yep. For 135 years.
Amazing. So everybody come on board right now tonight. That's part of what we're here for. Thank you for being here, because we're definitely here for the fellowship and just the friendliness, the good time. That's what life is all about. But we're excited. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we'd love to answer all your questions, make you feel 100% confident like we are, and get you signed up. Let's see. Earl Raymond, do you know who this is?
Yes, Earl is one of the guys in my downline.
Okay, Sunnyfish. We are hosting the first event in Granbury, so that's what we were talking about earlier. May 23rd, yep. Eat at 6 p.m., presentation at 7 p.m. And for the record, Earl, feel free to put that, share it in the comments all you like. Share it every time we do a show. Thank you for being here. Thursday, 6 p.m. dinner presentation. That's the one. Where's that at?
That's Thursday at 6. That's the one in Mansfield, the Mansfield Spring Creek.
Mansfield Spring Creek. Okay, so I can't wait to do out here in Terrell. So Papa Shrimp is over in Terrell, ready to load up, you guys. You got the Texas.
As soon as you get enough people there, let me know, and we'll get something set up there for sure.
You got the Texit Raider heading home, then time to make a Texit update. So everybody, we got a hot Texit update coming out of the Texit Radar YouTube, social media presses. So go over there and be sure to catch that, because those guys are really good, fun, and educational, and inspirational. You know, the way that they set up a booth. You know, we're going to be setting up a booth, or I am, at the Star of the River on May the 31st, here in just a couple of weeks. It's the Hillbilly Throwdown Float Fest. It's a whole day of great music, floating on the Brazos River, which is overfull right now, and then camping out, pitching a tent and camping out at night. So I'll be there all day. If we have any fellow TEXITcoiners who want to stop by and man the booth with me, you're welcome to. As long as there's an empty seat, you're welcome to man it, answer any questions, make any connections, sign up anybody you're able to. So that's May the 31st. It's on the Brazos River. You can pay attention here on the show to get more information, or just contact me in the email. But I wanted to go back to pointing out how you have an assistant, and how all the Raiders have an assistant. I kind of lost my train of thought a minute ago.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody pay attention. Like, all the right things that need to happen are happening. The fact that you have an assistant provided to do all of that, dude, you're fixed to and if I can do my end, which is do this every day and then get to a lot of these meetings. I mean, I should be able to do a live show every day, and then also get to a meeting every day, and then broadcast all that. I want to videotape it. I want to broadcast it. I want to do individual reels and things with people who have, a good bit of information to tell us about and share that day. A lot of different things. So my point is that everything that needs to be happening with TEXITcoin, not with me and TEXITcoin TV, but with TEXITcoin itself, everything that is happening. So thank you for sharing that, and everybody get on board now.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it allows me to do what I'm good at instead of menial tasks that I don't want to have to do.
And I will thoroughly enjoy coming along and support in any way that I can, and scoop up all of those shares that I can in the process. All right, so we got Texit Raider. He rugged 3 times. He's talking to someone in the chats. Yes, I'm so excited. We are so excited.
Yeah, the plan is to do these every Monday.
Okay,
I'll have Spring Creek scheduled on Tuesdays after this week, and so well, we're going to Las Vegas in a couple of weeks.
You are with the family or with TEXITcoin?
No, with all the TEXITcoin people, all the ones that qualified with enough getting enough people in. If you get 6 people in, you get a room and airplane ticket. You get 10 people in, then you get 2 tickets and the room.
Wow!
So like
congratulations on all of y'all. Hope you have a wonderful time. And while you're out of town, everybody just contact me. My name is Ricky Warden. It's TEXITcoin TV. I'll get you signed up. I'll just be working 24 hours while y'all are all out of town.
Maybe we can do the live stream there on Monday while I'm in Las Vegas in the background.
Yeah, please. Let's try our best to do it.
Sounds good. All
right, so just going to try to go through these real quick. If you see anything we need to address. One of the things I'd like to do here is I'm obviously very experienced with social media, Canva Pro, StreamYard. And so some of the videos that I do will just be about like a Canva Pro tutorial, but geared more specifically for TEXITcoin folks. Okay, it's a great weekend. So are you going to, if TEXITcoin Raider is listening, you going to Vegas in a couple of weeks too, obviously, because he's a Ranger?
Yeah, he's going for sure. I think they have he does gun shows. I think they have a show there or something that same weekend.
Okay.
Something around the same time.
Yep, they're very good about it. And, like they do gun shows over here in Burleson all the time. I know you had mentioned that some people had tried some of them and didn't have that much luck. But I feel differently. I feel like I can explain this very simply and sign people up.
Yep.
All right. I just don't want to miss anybody. So forgive me as I go through here. I love it that there's so many people. They're talking to each other in the chats. This is Ray Ramirez.
That's my buddy Ray. Him and I have done he runs a printing company too. And so he uses me for smaller jobs. Him and I have done business, I don't know, 30 years or something together. So I got him involved probably a month or so ago, and he's been on fire. I mean, he's put like 10 or 12 people below him already.
Yeah. Way to go. Way to go, Ray. Congratulations, man. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you for taking care of my good friend Jason Birch all these years. Let's see. Have you been out to Colorado yet, Jason?
Nope, I sure haven't.
Look here. He's got radio ads 30 times a day currently. Wow.
They got somebody, from what I understand, they got some guy in that's a part of a radio station there in Colorado. Yeah. And this guy is just blowing it up. I think he had 100 and something points or something this week. He put it on the board.
Amazing. Well, I'm happy that he was in a position to be able to do that. And thank you for sharing with me. And I hope my crowd with Outlaw Video TV, with everyone, because that's what it's all about. It's just, the time is now, and it's going to be now for another year, like Jason said. And so all the support we can give each other along the way is the way. That is the way. Okay, is the link for Tuesday night Zoom or sign up email?
No, Glenn, it's in Telegram. I'll text you when I get out of here so you can see the link to watch it. It may not be up yet because it takes a couple of hours after it actually comes out for them to process it and then post the link and the password that it takes to get in. But if I find it, I'll send it over to you.
So what he's saying for everyone else listening is that there is a Tuesday meeting with the founder, Bobby Gray, and it's a Zoom meeting. and it can be viewed in
it'll be in the resource tab eventually, but to watch the Tuesday one, you have to be an actual miner. He'll do another Thursday one, and the Thursday one is open to anyone.
Okay, but are these saved and viewable after the fact?
Yes.
Okay.
On when you're a miner, you have access to your dashboard. Inside your dashboard, there's a resource tab. In that resource tab, there's a link you can click on called Zoom calls. And that'll have all the past Zoom calls. That's one of the things I was telling you is a really good thing to digest.
Right.
To learn more about what we're doing is to go back and watch a ton of those things.
Well, maybe in a minute we'll pull it up. And is it pretty easy to get through? Is it on the TEXITcoin website?
You have to log into your dashboard.
Yep. Okay. Well, next week, or definitely next Monday with Jason and Jadren, we will definitely pull that up and show you right here on the screen exactly what it is. That's another thing is I have the ability to pull up any website. We can pull up the different graphs and everything showing. As a matter of fact, I have one pulled up right here. How about we just show everybody and let the graphs do the talking?
Okay.
Let's see here. TEXITcoin, I believe that's it. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to get us off of the screen just so that we can see that and remove that. All right, so there it is. This is the coin market cap showing the coin right now currently at 8.5. Let me hit refresh. I shouldn't have to do that, but it's just kind of a habit I do that. So let's refresh it and make sure that it's all current. And there it is.
Yeah, switch it to the 1 month.
Okay.
Switch it.
That's 1 year.
The year one shows you. Yeah, it shows you a little bit better. We're just barely over a year, but you can see how it's just continuous growth for a long period of time.
So there it is, everyone. This is what we've been waking up to for the last 3 weeks. I mean, since I really started paying attention, this thing has gone from 50 cents to 85 cents. And it's gone higher and it's gone a little lower, but it's leveling out pretty much the last few days at 85 cents. And it's pretty exciting, to see something go from 50 cents. You saw it go from, what was it when you got in again?
When I got in, it was 9 cents.
9 cents. Amazing. All right, so this is just one of the many things we can do. I can pull up any website. So if you're on the panel as a guest, say Bonnie was on, we can pull up your social medias and show everybody and send everybody that way and all of that stuff. This TEXITcoin TV absolutely is not all about me. It's all about all of us and TEXITcoin. So the invitation is open, and I'd like to see some people come on in and have a good time together. No worries. I've been doing this for a long time, so we'll hold it down and we'll have a good time either way.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's make sure that we have all the folks in the chats covered before we even think about getting out of here. Grand Prairie's having a big Memorial Day weekend party. Thank you. Woody Die?
Yeah, that's my buddy Tim.
Yeah, hello, Tim. He looks cool.
Line.
Woody Die, he looks cool. Good to know he's making it with TEXITcoin. Neil Rader again there. And how about Ross Riker? New to TEXITcoin, do we have any events in the Frisco or Northern Dallas area? McKinney, right?
I see them occasionally. You really have to be on Telegram and follow the Telegram. There's a calendar that's on there, but I don't think it's been terribly updated lately. That's obviously one of the things that we've struggled with is social media. We've since hired someone that's doing full-time social media now. So a lot of those places that we're struggling we're starting to get better at. And having a calendar of events is definitely one that we need, because when you get on the Telegram, there's a lot of people on there and it's overwhelming the amount of stuff that's on there. So trying to find something, an event that's going on, can be very, very, very difficult. It'd be nice just to click on a calendar and they'll be right there in front of you. So that's obviously a plan in the works for it to have a functional calendar.
Yeah, it would be idea if each member could go in and update it themselves so that one person didn't have to do it.
Yeah, correct.
But I would do it until then. So we'll string one along until TEXITcoin gets one put together if I'm able. Check back right here at TEXITcoin TV and Jadren and find out. Okay, so moving along here, we got T-Man. Came aboard last Thursday, going to build out under Jonathan and directly under Ken Caldwell, run a gun show operation in Florida. Super excited. Also run an AI operation company. How about that?
Very cool. Yeah, Jonathan. So he's under Texit Raider.
Excellent. Again, the invitation is open to everyone. But I do AI and all that stuff too. So if you ever want to slide into my DMs just to say hi, it'd be a pleasure to, to just say hi. I should join the Army and become a Ranger just for fun now. Welcome to the rocket ship, Ross Riker. I'm going to have to get some sound effects, Jason, for different things like this, It's funny. I actually have some sound effects, but they're on my other setup. I have a whole setup here on StreamYard for my music show, and they're on that. So I'll just have to move them over here.
Cool.
All right. Let's see. There's a few more chats. I don't want to miss anybody here. There's Ross Riker is praying. We're praying with you, man, aren't we all? Okay. I told everyone Monday was gone. Okay. Thanks for the shout out. Oh, you're welcome, man. That's what we're here about. Like, really, I want to get as many shares as I possibly can, but I'm not going to get them by, I don't know. My personality, Jason, I'm either going to get the coins and my sales, my shares by doing this and treating, inviting everyone and welcoming everyone. And in that process, my friends and family and people that I know and meet see that and are interested, get their questions answered and signed up. So I'm not here to take your people. I'm here to bring you people or to help you facilitate your people. Okay, we got Joseph Miller with a question. What would happen if the Texas state auditor started taking TEXITcoin for Texas related payments?
Then we would basically become the bank.
Yay!
And this thing would go bonkers.
Well, you want to be a little more practical? I mean, is that practical, or start a
it's completely practical. It's a usable currency, so the uses are absolutely endless. You can use it for little bitty things. In the instance of in a small town, sometimes they have like chamber bucks where you can earn chamber dollars that you go spend it in local businesses. Well, instead of doing those, they can build on top of our chain and have their own chamber dollars, but now it's a digital currency instead. So someone walks around with their wallet on their phone as an app, and they're able to use those same funds to go in someplace and pay for them. That's seeing it on a small scale. Or they could use TEXITcoin instead of building like their own currency out. But yeah, the absolute use case is the same. There's no limit to where this thing can be, because if you don't realize it yet, cryptocurrency will overtake the banks. And the way that you know that is because the banks have fought it and fought it and fought it. And they finally have given up, and now they're coming on board. You see them all, every single one of them, getting teamed up with some type of cryptocurrency that are not decentralized, by the way, but they realize they have no choice but to move into the cryptocurrency world, because that's where the world's going, with or without them.
As much as we, and I speak for we, as much as we would prefer to have a dollar in our hands, that tangible dollar in our pocket, it's not how the future is going to be. There's nothing you're not going to stop it. So like the fearless leader of TEXITcoin and the founder, Rob Gray, be like Water, be like Bruce Lee, and figure out a way to flip the script on the financial world, and get with that momentum, pull a nice kung fu karate move and make it work for you. And so what that actually means is crypto coin is the finance of the future, like it or not. This with TEXITcoin is probably the only opportunity you're ever going to see.
Yeah, we're positioned in a place right now that is it's just unbelievable. I mean, it literally could not have fallen together more perfect than it has. And now, if you haven't seen lately, even again today, you're seeing a 15-point jump in Ethereum. 3 or 4 days ago, it jumped 15-20%. So you're seeing these monster moves that are in the crypto sphere. And all that does is that just brings more and more people into the crypto world, which positions us to be this incredible driving force that we're just going to grow and grow and grow.
Hey, we were talking about applications, and I mentioned maybe possibly a more practical application. And I know this to be true because Bobby Gray talks about it a lot. And it's, the use of the coin, and a true practical application is a city use. There's multiple cities looking at the coin right now. What does that mean? Well, it can mean a lot of things, but I want to point out one little simple scenario of how it would affect you and make your life better and the city. When you go to the city carnivals and you have to stand in line and get your tickets, and you have to, you can't use them all and you end up losing money. Well, that is a practical application for this coin in particular. It could absolutely be the one coin that you purchase. You have your coins before you get to whatever city event, and it could be good for not just that one city event, but for all city events all year. So that if you don't use all your tickets, it's still right there on your wallet, I'm assuming. And so that is a very practical application for this coin. And because it's very practical, and it's really a necessary part of the success of any digital currency, is the use of it. So
think about it. Think about it. What you're saying. If you went to a carnival and you normally buy tickets and you have some left over, so you buy $20 worth of the tickets and you only use 10, but then you realize, oh, we can go to the restaurant in the city because this restaurant also accepts that form of payment. It's the possibilities are literally endless.
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we put that very practical possibility that Bobby Gray is focused on. I don't know the extent. See, when I talk about I don't know everything, these are the kind of things I'm talking about. I have a pretty damn good handle on cryptocurrency today, I'm proud to say, but I don't know what TEXITcoin is doing with the city of Gonzales. I don't know exactly what TEXITcoin is doing with the city of McKinney. Things like I don't know exactly what the TEXITcoin is doing with the state of Texas and the state auditor. That's what
Tuesday nights are all about. Okay. Bobby gives us an update on every single thing that's going on. The transparency is ridiculous in this thing. He tells us everything you'd ever want to know, even the stuff you don't want to know, the bad stuff, the ugly stuff that's happening. Because when you grow as fast as we are, there's going to be some hiccups along the way. It's inevitable. And he shares those with us instead of trying to hide them.
Yeah. Yep. I believe it. And I will be there every Tuesday. I haven't been there yet just because I've been working so hard getting everything set up and educating myself at the same time. So it's been twofold. Let's give a shout out to T-Man again. He's telling us that his Florida being launched soon. So I'm assuming they're going to kind of take the approach that Colorado has taken and kind of be the Florida team, which is genius. I mean, it was a genius move for Colorado. And I just want to extend the welcome. Come on over here. He says this is a great presentation tonight. Well, come on over. Learn your chops here. Become comfortable with this process. The reason we're comfortable with it is because I've been doing this online for 3 years. Jason's been doing, a bunch of stuff his whole life. but he's a natural. Jason, you're a real natural at this.
Well, it's funny because I'm typically antisocial. So if it wasn't for my wife, I would never be here, and I would never be up in front of people, because I was that kid in high school that was terrified to get up and do a book report. So it's just through a lot of the stuff that I've realized that God has given me this ability to kind of teach, and for some reason people trust me when I tell them stuff. And so I'm trying to use that now at the best of my ability.
And it's because you're a good person, and you can't judge every character, by their personality traits, but it comes across in you as genuine. And, I think that's undeniable. Check this out. Bonnie said, talk about faith. She was in when it was 2 cents.
Yeah, that's what it first started out as.
See, I just want to make sure I get through all these. I've signed up 3 people already and signed up last week. We should get 200 extra hash power for signing up 3 people in 30 days.
Yes. And once you do it, it resets the clock. So you can do it again over and over and over and over and over. There's no limit to how many times you can do it.
Okay, keep that in mind, everybody. We have two rangers here. We've got in the chats, we have a ranger. He can answer any of your questions here in the chats, and we will make you, if he's not already, we'll make him a moderator in the chats. But then right here on the screen, you got Jason Birch is another ranger. So, I mean, we got you covered right here tonight. So ask away, because we're going to start wrapping up pretty soon. Okay, see, there's Bonnie. Bonnie, we'll make you a chat moderator. It basically, the main thing that chat moderator allows you to do is you can kick someone out if they're over here spam advertising. But it also allows, when you post a link, your link is hyperlinked. And if you post a link and you're not a moderator, then your link won't be you won't be hyperlinked. So we'll take care of that here in a few. All right, man. So we are all caught up. Neil Paul, do you have my connect on Telegram? And Jason Jadren is the man. Jadren is the man.
Phenomenal. Bonnie always building me up. Stop it. You're giving me a big head.
Well, it's an honor to be with y'all. It really is. Thank you, Jason, for having me aboard.
You're very welcome. Thanks for doing this, because if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have gotten done.
Wow. All right. Well, let's do it. Every Monday, he says, we got a ranger right here live every Monday. Of course, it's going to be on the Jadren YouTube channel. But next week, it'll be on TEXITcoin TV YouTube also. I might get creative with it and just chop it up in shorts and different things like that, because I really don't want to have a competitive, like, the same video out there every week. But we're going to get creative with it, and I'm going to use your fuel, Jason, to fire this rocket ship. Our goal is to be on 5 days a week, simply because TEXITcoin is worthy. The need, the demand is there.
Yep. For sure.
Oh, my goodness. We might have a whole bunch more comments. I thought I was caught up. No, okay. Yeah, I was caught up. All right, Jason. Well, thank you again. Do you have any parting thoughts of wisdom for us tonight before you go or on your way out?
No, it all goes back to, again, research. Understand what it is that you're a part of, so it's easier to talk to other people about it. You cannot spend enough time understanding this, because the more you know, the more confident you feel when you want to tell other people about it. So thanks again, guys, for joining us. You guys are absolutely awesome. And God bless.
I have one more question. I want to sign up, Jason. What should I do?
If you want to sign up, the easiest way to do that right now is if you go to TEXITcoinmining.com. You can actually go there and sign up directly through that website.
And there's also a link in the description. As soon as we get off, Jason, if you send me your link, you know how you sent me my link for sign up?
Yes.
Send me your link, and I'll put it in the descriptions in the video. So Jason's link will be there, and my link will be there. And just click on those links. And then his phone number's there. My phone number's there. If you have any questions from there, just give us a call. Yeah, I know Jason will too, but I'll stay up all night with you. Let's go.
Sounds good.
All right, Jason, we'll have a wonderful evening. Much prosperity to you tonight and always. And, man, I am looking forward to this rocket ride with TEXITcoin TV, and especially next Monday with you, Jason Birch, and all of these wonderful TEXITcoiners.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Really, really appreciate it.
Are you ready? Are we ready? Is Texas ready? Will the world ever be ready? TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV. TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV. You got questions, we got answers. TEXITcoin for Texas by Texans. TXC is a fast and inexpensive, scalable blockchain-based cryptocurrency designed for generations of honest trade. TEXITcoin is the future of money in Texas. Accessible, scalable, mineable, USable. TEXITcoin is a fast new digital cryptocurrency for Texas by Texans. Get in on the ground floor and help establish a solid economic foundation for a new national economy based on a trustless, decentralized digital blockchain that's built to last. Every day we will be here answering questions. TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV. TEXITcoin is your second chance at crypto. Faster, cheaper, and better than Bitcoin in almost every way. Our passionate affiliates are on track to make TXC bigger than the world's leading crypto. Join us. Help secure the TEXITcoin network. Play an active role in the success of TXC. Join now. Will the world ever be ready? TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV. TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV. Are you ready? TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV, TEXITcoin TV. Join now.